Renee Knorr, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 Magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar. And welcome, family. That's right. Welcome to the GW3 Lunch and Soar. Today is Wednesday, and I'm super excited about today. Not only am I grateful to have today a part of February the 8th. That's right, February the 8th. Today is also a winning day for women in business, as well as women all around the world. And if you are a woman, go ahead and share the space out, whether you're right there in the clubhouse or you are right there on YouTube as well as Facebook. We're super excited because not only we're going to have we're going to have opportunities of meeting some of our super women that's around the globe, but we're also going to be looking forward to ways of collaborating, impacting lives while we are here winning in this game called life. As they said, while we're out here lifing, if you're out here lifing, go ahead on and put some pink hearts in the chat because we know it's real. It gets so real, especially when we're in this new season with uncertainties. We're in this new season of really just understanding what's going on with the government, as well as we're in this new season of just understanding what's going on with ourselves. But one of the greatest gifts that we have, guys, is being able to stay prepared. And so we're going to talk about some of those strategies. We're going to talk about some of those wins, as well as we're going to talk about how we can help impact and help to support you change your trajectory for 2023. Well, without further ado, guys, I'd like to introduce one of our first guests that's joined us. Not only are we so happy to have Dr. Wynn a part of the Global Women Wealth Warriors, we're so grateful to have her a part of an incredible movement that she's on as well. Dr. Wynn, bring your beautiful self here. That's Miss Dr. Stephanie Wynn. Look how gorgeous she is. Everybody, please put some hearts in the chat for Dr. Wynn. How are you doing today, superstar?
I am fantastic, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me live. That's awesome.
Now, guys, we didn't plan it, right, Dr. Wynn? We got the same hairstyles. We did not plan it. I just love it. Oh, my God.
That's just great minds think alike. That's what that is.
That's what it is. Great minds think alike. You have been having like one of the busiest schedules by far. Now, share with everybody what it is that you're doing and how do you keep yourself looking so radiant and beautiful? Please, Dr. Wynn.
All right. Well, I am Dr. Wynn, a licensed professional counselor, and I am the relationship specialist. Now, there's a reason that I am the relationship specialist because not all counselors are relationship specialists. So, 3 points. One, as a professional counselor, I've had thousands of men and women over the 20 years to tell me their most vulnerable secrets to understanding and connecting with the opposite sex. So I developed, this is my man ear, this is my woman ear. So I've developed the ability to really help men and women communicate, building relationships. 2, it hurts my heart to hear women say, oh, there are no good men out there, or I am intimidating men, because I grew up with the world's greatest men, and I meet great men consistently today. So when I hear that, I feel that there are some things that might need to be learned to communicate so that you can pull out his greatness by accessing yours. And 3, in my own life, I had a king, and it was a rain of bullets that took him from us, in making me a single mother at that point. But it was because of our great relationship, because of the things that we went through, we grew through, because of the love that we experienced, even in his death, I can share with my daughter some of the things that were done and experienced. It was a silver lining that helped keep me from going further into the depths of depression after the trauma of his death. With that, I want to make sure that women can connect with the man of their dreams so that they also experience that silver lining kind of love. That's me. I'm Dr. Wynn. And in your relationships, I make sure you are a winner.
I just love it, guys. Let's give some hearts to Dr. Wynn. First and foremost, thank you for sharing your story. My heart goes out to you and your beautiful daughter as well. I love the fact that you have your confidence and you carry it on your shoulders. Relationships, what people don't realize, relationships is everything. And not only just relationships with a relationship with family, relationship with work, relationship with just even yourself. Relationships is just everything. And thank you for just understanding the importance of communication too. I think that's kind of like the key to richer relationships and helping to build some of these relationships and even to restore relationships and just being honest with ourselves, right? Honesty
Absolutely.
is so huge right there. The journey that you were able to be a part of or just travel throughout your life existence and being able to watch others go through some of the hardships as well. What have you been able to experience for women, especially I would say women with business right now? I know when I was at that point in my relationship, I too am on you lost your loved one, which is something totally different from me going through a divorce. However, we're still separated, right? And so as women, we feel as if now we have to start all over again. And how do we start all over again? How to pick up these pieces so therefore we can stay of sound mind to be able to be successful not only in life but also in business as well. So share with us some of those stories that you've been able to help those win in life, please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So relationships impact your influence, they impact your income, and they impact your intimacy. So, in women in business, and these are oftentimes the women I work with, women who have influence, women who are in business, women who are movers and shakers, what I call the alpha woman. What we find is their experience is that their communication level has reached a point where they no longer experience that connection with the man in their life or in their lives, whether it is related to work, whether it is related to their personal life, even in mother son relationships. So, what I teach is how to speak in a way that you're getting across the message that you have in your heart so that it lands on him in the way that he hears what you are actually trying to say. That's why I have the two ears, man ear, woman ear, because we speak very differently, even when we mean the same thing. So, what happens for women in business? We learn a skill. We learn to be able to negotiate. We learn to be able to move forward. We learn to be able to do these things that are tremendous and powerful. What we don't learn is how to take that same power and take that same tremendous capacity and do that in the skill of your personal relationships. So there's becomes a disconnect there. So what I can do is I help make that connection. I help we connect better is what we do. So women who are in their relationships with their businesses, the way you connect with your peers, the way you connect with your subordinates and superiors as far as your job skills is powerful in your communication. The words that you use, the energy that you exude, and the feelings that you have behind the things that you say all come across. in whether or not you can be successful in your business, in your network, and your relationship with money matters because your relationship with money is reflected in your relationship with your mate. So there's a powerful thing.
I just love it. So sound, and I love what you talk about. Yeah, that's a different conversation that women have versus men. That book, Men Are From Venus. Well, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Had to get
Right.
it right. The M's and the V's, had to get that right. That was one of the first books, I'm telling you, Stephanie, that I read because I'm like, why am I fighting with this man? What is going on? And I thought it was just me. I really thought it was me. And I'm so grateful that it wasn't just me. And once I started reading the book, it started giving me more insight in regarding to how men think and how women react and
Right.
how women are so emotional. And then also think about this too, like you said, same thing that happens within our own business relationships as well. I hit myself across my head a couple of times. I'm like, how is it that the guys get it so down to a T and we're over here struggling over here? We're on a struggle bus. I don't mind saying it like that. Come on now. We can't be on a struggle bus. What's happening? And I
Now let me
realized,
let me let me jump in
yeah,
there. So hold on, because you realize something. I want you to let me just jump in there.
okay,
When a woman puts a business together from her stance, that business will outdo a man's in most cases, according to research. Women leaders are some of the best because we are the emotional gifted ones, so that we can connect to the clients and connect to the frontline people more. So that's one of the things that I want you to know. Your
yes.
emotions are a gift. What did you realize?
What I realized is that men don't get wrapped up so much with the emotions, right?
Mhm.
And because they don't get so wrapped up with emotions, men seem to move almost like military soldiers. They just keep moving, moving, moving. Women, they get sometimes wrapped up with the emotions and they get to a pause. They stop,
Right. Right.
or they get so emotional until they don't want to be your friend anymore. And it's like, okay, but we're doing business. So let's focus on the business first, right? Or they get so emotional where they are not even as successful as men. And that's something that I have noticed. Now, I will give that concur what you said, because there's a lot of women that's truly got it down to a T. They know how to use their femininity as well as they know how to use that masculinity. I'm going to say it just like what it is, because when Steve Harvey said women sometimes have to think like a man but always act like a lady, that's nothing negative about it at all. It's just about how you have to learn how to flow a little bit different in order to get what you want. And yeah, it's not always about sex either. It's about up here, that mind, and how to turn that mind power on, and how to always hold on to the power without allowing those emotions to get too far gone or too far fetched from what the purpose is. I think just focusing on what's really important, right? Like we say, relationships are everything. And that's something I think that we can work on and learning more from a woman like yourself.
Absolutely. I certainly am looking forward to putting more information out there. I have started my YouTube channel at Dr. Wynn Global and my Facebook
Yes,
group at Dr. Wynn Global. So I'm everywhere at Dr. Wynn Global.
right.
And so I'm putting together some things to help to, if I may, I love to share this.
I would
Uh,
love that. And I would
okay.
love to have comments. Also, we're in the clubhouse. We're also on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We have a couple different channels out there. Ladies or even gents, if there's questions that you like for us to ask our beautiful Dr. Wynn, please let me know. Don't hesitate. Let's put it in whether you're on the YouTube channel or you're right there in the clubhouse, we'd like to share. And then we're going to also be including a couple more of our celebrity GW3 warriors to the table. We have Ms. Karen Geddes is going to be joining us alongside with Malika Starr as well, while we're enjoying this conversation with you, Dr. Wynn. Please
Cool.
take it away.
I'm so excited to have those. Yays, our celebrity guests. I'm so excited. I'm so honored. Thank you. Thank you. So what I have a free PDF. And what I did was I put together some strategies and skills to help you communicate. And so the first thing you need to do in your communication and building your relationships is check yourself. You have to have that self-love, that self-care, that self recognition. And that's not easy to do. It's easier said than done. So one of the things we put together, it's an acronym. It's called HALT, HALT. Now, this acronym does come from a different entity of mental health. And so I've taken it and I've adjusted a little bit for relationships and how to cut back on your arguing. It's very simple. One, check yourself and see if you're hungry. That's H. Are you hungry? Are you hangry? When's the last time you had something substantial to eat? That little snack that you had this morning, or that cup of coffee and donut, that probably was not sufficient enough to manage your protein levels and needs and things. So check your hunger. A, are you angry? Did something happen at work today that now you're bringing into the household? Did something happen in some area of your life and you're still holding on to it? You still haven't accessed it to let it go? Are you angry? So now you're easily triggered by something someone has said or something is going on. L, do you feel lonely? Do you feel left out? What's going on? What is your thought pattern? It's always about the mind. What is your thought pattern that makes you feel lonely in this moment? And can you reframe that thought? Maybe you're not left out. Maybe you're not lonely. Maybe you need to be doing something different for yourself. And T, are you tired? Do you need a nap? You ever notice when you get tired, things are easy, you get easily irritated, things like that. So make sure that you check yourself first. Give yourself that love, give yourself that belief, give yourself that power, so that when you have it for you, then you can share it with others. So that's the first part of helping you to cut down on relationships and negative energy in dealing with others, is to halt. That's just one piece of my gift. And so soon I'll be putting that out in a free PDF and let people access that. Just text me or not text me, but message me or something at Dr. Wynn Global, and I can get you that PDF.
I absolutely love that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have to say, we have questions for you, beautiful, because you've been dropping so many gems here. And I mean, they got love hearts everywhere for you as well. Thanks to Dr. Laura. We also have Ms. Renee Hayes, all type of love hearts for you, as well as we have so many others, Miss Sandra Jackson as well. I really appreciate the fact that we have you with GW3 Warriors. So now we can literally have more mastermind courses and learn more about ourselves. Like you said, it's a checkup from the neck up. And we hear that. And it's not nothing negative. It's just that having that reality check, right? That reality check is so important. Well, right now we have some of our Hollywood celebrities is joining us right now. Are you ready? We have the queen herself from New York City, Miss Karen Geddes. That's right.
Hi.
With us.
Yay!
Karen,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we
Good. Hi,
hear you.
ladies. Hi, Dr. Wynn. I love that
Hello.
hall. How are
I
you,
know.
beautiful?
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm so excited. Wow.
I know,
Good,
right?
good. So
So
am
I know,
I.
Karen, we were having a really good conversation this morning in regard to impact, and you hear from Dr. Wynn. She's just dropping so many gems on us today, and I know we're going to have another one of our warriors that's going to join us a little bit later. But share with us, Karen, what have been some of your takeaways thus far from this great conversation that we're having with Dr. Wynn?
So actually, and I agree with her when she said about how women, when they launch a business, they get emotionally involved. And I launched my business and I was very emotionally involved in my business and making financial decisions, some great, some not so great. However, I didn't let it stop me. So that, being emotionally attached to your business is a powerful thing in my book because it allows you to look at things and see things differently. And I do believe
Oh.
men are robots almost when it comes to business. They just robotically get it done. And I watched a lot of men,
Mhm.
just
That's
move
right.
about in their business and they they don't have that compassion that they need to connect with their peoples. And I believe women have that compassion
Yes, we do.
because we've gone through some things. We are nurturers, so we can actually connect to our employees.
That's right.
So, yes.
That's right.
I like what you said about the fact that men are like robots, because some of them are. I'm going to give you guys an example, okay? Because we were in New York City, right there with the Breakfast with Champions. We had the opportunity of watching Mr. Glenn Lundy alongside with Mr. Brian Brinstock, right there in New York City, watching them in action, guys. And I love the fact that they just really complemented each other very well. But I tell you, that Brian Benstock is truly like a machine. Oh my goodness. Even the way he just runs with such precision.
So Miss Renee kind of froze. So I'm just going to jump in there so we
Yeah,
don't
I
have
don't know
dead
what just
space.
happened there easy. I'm like, what's going on? We all froze at the same time. So that was simultaneously. But what I was noticing also, how he did anything is how he did everything. He was impeccable when he walked. It's just like he's so stern. The way he carried himself, the way he present himself, time on time, and very, you could tell, organized as well. And one of the other things I remember, we all were running in the park. That's right, Miss Karen. Your girl was out there running. Okay, I don't think we did
Black girls run.
Yes,
Yes.
black girls
Absolutely.
do run. Black girls do marathons as well, and we work out. I was working out this morning with my daughter, and you know what, guys? I tell you, you could see a difference in your skin. You could see a difference in your face. Everything starts toning up, and I just love it. I was looking at her last night. I'm jumping the subject just a little bit, but I was looking at her last night. She put on one of my dresses. I'm like, I really got into that dress. God, it was so skinny. I'm going to show you guys the dress I'm talking about. Super thin. I'm like, she said, and you got in it with no problem either. I'm like, what? Whew. But at any rate, when you get back to Brian Benstock, he's a man that has the ability to show you leadership. We were running in the park, and literally we had some people that was staggering along the way. He came all the way back to bring up the end of the line to push everybody forward before he continued on doing his normal routine. And I was just like, wow, what a leader. He did not leave anyone behind. And that's how his consistency have been. And I'll say this for ladies. Are we leaving anyone behind? Are we leaving anyone behind? Guys, when we're together, we have to always make sure we have communications. Those lines of communication have to be open. Don't whisper over here. Let's make sure we're bringing everybody together. That's the only way we're going to get ahead, guys. I promise you, that's the only way we're going to get ahead. That's why Global Women Wealth Warriors was established, because we can work together. We can win. You can have another business. It's okay. We can truly do more things together. I'm like that gladiator, that movie, The Gladiator. Remember what he said? I'm not sure what's getting ready to come out of those doors. But as long as we stick together, as long as we do it together, chances are we'll have a better way of us surviving whatever's getting ready to happen to us. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We've got our next beauty that's getting ready to join us. The lady herself, who is one of our amazing publishers with the GW3 Warrior, an author who's helped more than 5 people to also become authors. The lady herself, Miss Malika Starr. Let's have her come on up to the screen. Woo! Hey, gorgeous, how are you?
We
You are
can't hear
whispering, but you're
you.
Wait a minute.
muted. We can't
Okay,
hear
there it
you.
is. There it is. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When I tell you the technical challenges I was having today, but I am here.
You're here.
Love
I'm
it.
loving every minute of it. I got to hear a lot of the conversation that was going on, and I want to say yes, Brian Benstock is amazing. I will say I do get up every Saturday and listen to that sales call. It's got me checking some things. It's got me checking some things. Am I pulling up the rear? Am I actually going back, catching that person that might have fallen behind and saying, hey, come on, you can do this. So definitely, I love that speech. And yes, Black girls do run.
I
Not,
know.
but I
Well,
know
guys,
some girls.
we've been spoiled rotten by Dr. Wynn that's joining us here, Miss Stephanie Wynn, and I'm so grateful that she's a part of the Global Women Wealth Warriors GW3 Global Society. You know, not only she's been able to pour into us about relationships, okay, and I'm going to say this, Dr. Wynn, some of us are single. Okay, most of us are single. Okay, most of us are single, and we may want to get back into relationships. I'm just saying.
That's okay. I got you.
Okay, you got us. Okay, no problem. And I say this because to me, I'm gonna be like Steve Harvey. Dating ain't the same. Married, if you're married or you're single, that's the way. It's not in between. You either got to be married or you got to be single. And so I know we have some of us are either coming from divorce, going through life, also, you know, just really re-identifying ourselves again. And I think that's something that's so needed for women, you know, to not only to re-identify who they are, but truly understand what their value is and identifying a purpose. And I think that's something that you may have women going through some moments in time that they need to identify that. So as we're here, we're talking about these global women, you know, working through not only through business, lifing, as well as relationships, but also important for us to keep on making money, girls. Okay. Let's talk about it,
Absolutely.
Dr.
I
Wynn.
like it. I like it.
Yes. So, Dr. Wynn, I know Miss Malika's here on the scene. Miss Malika is one of our incredible publishers. So grateful that she's here with us. And her name of her book is Now That I Know Better. You know, and we always love it. There she is. I love it.
I like it. I like it.
Now that I know
Yes.
better. As they say, you could do better, right, Malika?
Actually, when you know better, you can actually do better. You can have better. You can live better. You can eat better. You know what I mean? A lot of times, ignorance is bliss, and even the Bible says it says for lack of vision, people perish, but also for lack of knowledge. So the Bible even tells us if we ask for wisdom, God will load us down liberally. So sometimes we have to ask for it because what we don't know, it can kill us. It can rob us of our best lives possible. And it's not that we get it perfect, but if we just strive for better, we're going to get there and experience it. And so I want to hear some things about relationships. I'm going to say I man, but I want to know, I want to just make sure, like, you can't always brag about these things, but, how do you make your relationships improve? How do you go from dating to commitment? What do you do? How do you make it happen? I mean, there's some people that are actually dating and want to take it to the next level. How do you get there? So, I want to know how I could do better.
Hey, Dr.
Absolutely.
Wynn, what about that 90-day rule? Does that really apply? Talk to us about
Yes.
that.
Yes. And so
Yes.
here's the thing about that. So
Mhm.
I held a women's conference in January, and one of the things in my women's conference is the Real Deal Men's Panel. And on the panel, the men, so in the room, first of all, in the room were women from each generation, including my teenage group, early 20s group. And the men, that question came up. When is it okay to have sex? When do you do that? What do men think about that? So their answers were something along the line of, uh, when you're younger, no, don't do that. Because it was some young ladies in the room, you see. Then they said, but when you're in your 40s, now all of them were 40s and better. And when you're in your 40s or something like that, then you're grown and you can do what you want. And I'm going, no, ladies, no. They see all these beautiful women in here, and they're not gonna tell you no, they don't want you, not gonna have no. They're not gonna tell you
They
that.
don't want you to tell them you're going to wait.
Right.
They can wait.
Exactly.
Right.
But it absolutely does make a difference. I'm gonna tell you a story. So I told you I'm a licensed professional counselor and have been practicing counseling for over 20 years. And I've heard this story on several occasions. A good looking young man, when I say young, they were 20, one was 35, one was 42 and 56 and something like that, the age ranges, right?
Mhm.
And they said they were having an issue with, for example, a parent said, oh, you need to marry a young person in this culture, or you need to marry a young person with this background, or whatever. They need to marry someone. So what they would do is they would go find the good girl in whatever entity the parent was talking about and end up having sex with her on the first or second date. Bam, no more good girl. So please understand, there is absolutely truth to holding that. And I have told many a man when they were coming at me, we're not having sex till we get married. And they'll fuss and they'll argue, well, I'm grown and I have needs and you have needs and da 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 da. And I said, I need you to prove to me who you are before you can get this. If you can't step up to the plate, you do not get the cookie.
I
And
know.
so I have I have I have been proposed to 3 times in my life. So please know that is true. And then
So
Melissa,
wait. So
I love that one.
two,
Come on
three
now.
times,
say
right?
again.
Now, I said you were proposed to 3 times because I got to do the deeper dive, right?
Yes.
So you got the proposal.
Yes.
Did you marry them, or why
No.
didn't you marry
No.
them?
No.
Okay, so you got the proposal 3 times because you knew they were asking, they were proposing because not out of authenticity of their nature, but because they were trying to get the cookie, so they proposed to you. So
Possibly.
possibly. So you know, without throwing anybody under the bus, right? How do you know that one is the one? Because that's everybody wants to know. Well, how do I know? How do you know these guys? Even though, because every girl is their objective is to get the ring and get to the altar. That's their objective. But how did you know these men weren't suitable for you to marry?
One, their consistency. So a man will tell you who he is if you be quiet long enough to listen to him. He will let you know what his inner thoughts are based on what you're seeing and watching him do. So maybe he'll treat you good. And there used to be a song, I don't care about your other girls, just be good to me. You know,
I used to love, just be good to me.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. But please know how he treats his other girls is how he would treat you when you get to that level. So you have to you pay attention to how he treats those who have no ability to give him anything or do anything for him. That's one. Whether he is consistent in what he is doing and what he is saying, those two have to match. Is he saying I'm going to do so and so and then he does it? Is he will, even in his joking, he will tell you all men lie. Okay, now you know he's lying about something because all men don't have to lie. Some men don't care enough to lie about something. Some men lie because they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever, but I would rather you hurt my feelings and be honest with me because that's how I develop the respect for you. So there are ways that you can, one, consistency, two, honesty, three, how does he treat other people, and four, listen to him. Do not try to change him. Accept him as he is, and he will show you who he is. So for me, in my relationships, the issue was sometimes I just didn't want to get married. I had my king had died and I didn't want to be in that position right then. Other times he weren't consistent. You know, they could tell me what they heard me say. They can regurgitate back to me in an effort to try and make me think that they were who I needed them to be. But as I watched those things I just told you about, they weren't consistent. So those were some of the situations.
You know, you brought about something that I want more women as well as more girls to hear. You know, I'm over here, I've been doing this, girl. I'm old school, so straight old school until it's ridiculous. You know, not only do I say, you want to date me, you got to go out of the country first. I need to see if you're a man that is even adventurous enough, you know, because it doesn't make sense for you to date somebody or even go out with somebody if you both are not connected, if you're not in sync. And that's a big test. Where I got to go out of the country first? Yes, you have to go out of the country. Because if you're scared of cat about going out of the
Wait,
country,
do
it's
you
not
have
going
a
to work.
passport and can you get one?
Yeah,
That right there.
that
Can you
part. A
get one? Because
passport,
there's
and
some
can you
people out
get
here
one?
that
All right.
cannot get a passport
And
to
then
go
the
out of
other
the
thing is, I just need to make sure that you can show up for other people. Meaning, when you go to other countries, you don't have Pookie them, you don't have Bubba them. You are literally now on your own, interacting with other people, appreciating other people's culture. And if you don't know how to behave in another environment, it's not going to work because everyone knows. And it's not so much that it's, I would say, high society. It's just called boundaries and standards. And I think it's important for ladies to have boundaries and standards, even with work as well. That's something that's very important. So I love what you're saying because, yeah, old school girl over here, we don't shack up. No, we don't do that. Made too many mistakes in those areas. I'm letting you guys know we're talking about women of business and we're talking a little bit about relationship, but this is also, it affects your business, ladies. Your personal relationships will affect your business. It will.
Absolutely.
You
You
know, my
start.
sister said to
Absolutely.
me, not to
I
cut you off.
agree.
My sister said to me one time, right? She said, "You, you're building a brand, and does your guy fit your brand? Can your guy go to awards? You know, like we had that big, nice affair, and answer on the
There's a little bit of static going on there, Malika.
But I agree with her with what Malika was saying. Can your man, your guy, can he show up at an award show and be appropriately dressed? Can he show up at an award show and speak properly? You don't want somebody that can't hold a conversation with you in public. You know
Because that
what
is a
you
part of your business, right? That is
right.
still a part of
That's a
your business.
representation of you. So these are things, in my opinion, that you should consider. If you have a man that is in business and has his own business, then you know he knows how to show up for your business. So sometimes it pays to have someone that is in business as well because y'all are on a like-minded trail.
Be
And
mindful.
right,
Men that
absolutely, doctor. Absolutely, Dr. Wynn. They are mindful. So those are some of the things that you want to look at. We have to increase our standards, so to speak, when
Mhm.
you are looking for someone to date. The same guys that you dated at 25 or 35 may not be the same type of man you want to date at 50 or
They should
55.
not be. They should
Right,
not be,
because
right, doctor? They should
right.
not be the
you
same
Let,
one.
want them to grow with you
let
and
me
to have a business mind, in my opinion. Go
let me
ahead.
jump in here because one, I want you to be mindful that that businessman is also looking at you the exact same way. How are you showing up as well? Are you able to be the woman on his arm when he takes you as well? So be mindful of that. Know that there is
Absolutely.
no competition. A lot of times I see that there becomes a competition because you have a brand and he has a brand. Try to make sure that your brands can connect and they can be fruitful for each other, but they are not in competition. So if you have this brand and he has this same type of brand where you are in competition, one of you eventually is going to want to merge in so that you become one power, not the two separates. But if you have different brands that are very similar in support of each other, that's how you can definitely bring that together. And then finally, when you're setting standards, the first thing you have to do is look inside yourself and identify what's going on for you in your life. Because if you are always giving out to everyone else, always making sure everyone else is good, take a moment and figure out, are you looking for yourself? Can you answer the questions that you're asking of others for yourself? Because there could be some things that you haven't healed. This is the therapeutic part. You have to get healed and look and see if he is healed as well, because that healing is going to make a difference in your relationships. Just want to
Guys,
say
we
that.
are live right now on YouTube. We are live in the clubhouse as well as on Facebook. please drop in some comments if you want to have the Dr. Wynn to pour right back into you, because we're talking serious conversations here. Not only we're talking to women, global women that are of women of wealth, but also as they're building their brands, they have to make sure in their lives, their relationships, whether it's personal, business, as well as just even with
Thank you.
themselves, is all in alignment with their growth. Because if it's not in alignment with their growth, guess what? Chances are they're not going to be able to flourish to their next level, of where they need to grow into. It is about that time. We got about 15 more minutes, Dr. Wynn, on this live segment, and then we're going to take this conversation right back into the clubhouse. We have the beautiful Miss Malika Starr with our amazing GW3 Warriors, our publisher, as well as our author, and then we have our fashion designer herself, Miss Karen Geddes. One is from New York City, the other is from New Jersey, that's here with us as our special celebrity guest, while we're having the greatest time, welcoming not only Dr. Wynn, this is her first time going live with us, guys, but also welcoming her to our GW3 organization. She's been so busy dealing with relationships all around the world. So we're so grateful that you're here with us today. So thank you. I want to say that.
Thank you.
When you think about women not being able to just, sometimes they don't feel as if that they want to express certain things because they're afraid that they're going to lose the man. Okay, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Not so much you got the women that's talking too much, not those, but the ones that just don't want to be honest. Let's talk about that, because sometimes women suppress how they are feeling, thinking that's important for them to hold on to a man. And then you never get to the root of the relationship, and unfortunately you start getting resentment within a relationship. So talk
Yeah.
about that, please.
What that does is that causes mistrust. Now, a quality man will watch the woman he is interested in long before you even know he's interested. He's paid attention to you. He's seen what you do and how you move, and he was interested enough to come forth. Now, let me give you a very simple example on that. My honey used to get me some KFC when I ate that kind of stuff. And he liked chicken breasts. I don't like chicken breasts. But I was eating right off of his, oh, you got chicken breast? Okay. I'm like, oh, thank you, honey. So then the next time he was going somewhere, he wanted to get me something. He brought me the chicken breast and wing and stuff. And I was like, honey, I don't really like this kind. He was crestfallen to have not recognized that wasn't the type of chicken I like, because I wasn't honest when first time he gave it to me. I was like, okay, thank you, honey. I appreciate that. I didn't say to him, oh, thank you, honey. This is so good. Next time, maybe if you can give me some legs, because it's not the one I'm gonna eat, but since you touched it, you made it taste better. See, I should have said something like that to him, and I did not. So we had a conversation in understanding trust. So the resentment that we build as women comes from him not knowing, but we weren't showing. So that's where that difficulty comes in. Share, but share it in a way that you make it okay. Tell them how you feel, but then also add to it where you can see he was doing that thing which is good for you. Because if all you have to say is something negative, he's going to stop listening. You have to be able to give him something where he has succeeded in meeting your expectation, and then add to it, and then add to it. So that's one of the ways I think I can help with that. And then something Malika mentioned earlier, as well as you, Queen Renee, I have two books coming out. One is called Dawn, Dating for Alpha Women Now. And I keep going back and forth with this book. I've been working on this book for a long time. I'm about tired of working on it now. But it is date. Okay, we're gonna talk. I see Malika. I can't hear you, but I see Malika telling me we're gonna talk. Okay, that's a good thing. So Dating for Alpha Women Now. And then the other book is called Make My Relationships Better. So Those are the two books that are coming. One is for that single woman who is dating, and one for that woman who's either in a committed monogamous relationship or marriage, or who's getting there in other relationships. So I just want to put that out there. They're coming. Give me a minute.
So can I ask you a question, Dr. Wynn?
All right.
That I believe when you speak to anyone and you have to deliver something not so nice, you have to tell them something not so nice, that you should always really follow up with something that is nice so they can actually receive what you said in a better way. Is that correct?
Yes, I would actually make it an Oreo. So the first part is something good that they've done. The middle part is what you need to have adjusted or corrected, and the last part is something else good that you've seen and recognized. What two things I don't want you to use, two words. Uh-oh. Is it me or did we lose Renee?
We may have lost her, but we can continue the conversation. I
Okay.
think she's just trying to get back in.
Okay. So two words that I want you to recognize, that when you're using these words, chances are you are causing harm to your relationship. The two words are but and should. And this will be my final thing because I do have a client coming up. So
Okay.
but and should. One, the word but. Usually what happens is we say something wonderful and good, and then we say something bad on the other end of that. I'm looking at some faces. I'm seeing some people recognize what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. I take,
so
and I don't use the word, but I go however.
same difference. They're cousins.
Same difference.
They were,
Okay.
they related. And then the other word is should. So should is a judgment word. So as soon as you say he should have known, she should have done, I shouldn't have to ask. Now you know that you've placed a judgment on a person where they may not be living up to your expectations for one reason or another. And it may not be something that they've done. It's something that you thought they should do. So the way I want you to remember those two, I want you to not put your butt in your mouth and do not shoulda all over yourself.
Yes, indeed. We have that. And I did burn the word but and should. I had a burning party with those words. So absolutely.
Excellent. I see Malika is trying to talk and I can't hear her. Is that me?
No, I can't hear her either.
Oh no, I can see her. She's really giving some gems right there. She's excited too.
So I think it's just you and I that's actually having a conversation right now.
I see.
Because I can't even see Renee.
No,
so
I cannot see Renee and I cannot hear Malika.
Yes,
so keep making the faces, Malika. We almost reading your lips. Almost.
I know, right? Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes,
we can hear you now.
You can hear me now.
Amari, you can turn on the light.
Wow. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. So what I was
going to say,
okay. So if we shouldn't say but and we shouldn't say should, what words would you give us to use?
I would say to finalize the thought. So if you're going to give someone a compliment, stop at the compliment. Don't but and add something to it, right? The should is to check your judgment. Are you accepting that person for who they are, or are you putting expectations on them? And most of those expectations come from your past experience. Finalize the thought and accept them who they are, and pay attention to the character of the person that is speaking. Not be in your head when they're talking and you're in your head how to answer it. Listen to what they're saying and where they're coming from in their heart. That way you don't have to should them. And catch that. Because how many times do you hear your mama's voice or your grandma's voice coming out of your mouth when you say, oh, you should have done, or he should have done? Let him see what he is doing. The gift of a woman is the ability to pay attention to details and to experience emotions. You are a gift. So when you are in your woman gift of paying attention to details, of experiencing your emotions, you have the ability to let other people be great in your light. But the first thing you have to do is know that you are great. Now, here's the thing. I am Dr. Wynn, and I make winners. And from this point forward, you are now a winner. And you say, I am a winner.
I am
I
a
am
winner.
a winner.
Absolutely. So now you go forth and win because your doctor said so.
I love that, Dr. Wynn. I added to my email. Winning on purpose is what I say. So
I
yes,
love it.
yes, yes. Thank you. Miss
Absolutely.
Renee, can you hear us? I think she's in mute mode as well.
I think she's
So
frozen again. I think she's
This
frozen.
is frozen on the live, but I think she's on the
Clubhouse.
yes.
she's super excited. I can hear her on Clubhouse.
So yes, we are. Miss Renee, I'm going to, if you can't hear us, I'm going to try to shut the room down for you.
Okay, she's saying what she's saying is we're going to turn back into the Clubhouse.
Sounds like
And
a
she's hoping
plan.
everyone can come back into Clubhouse. I do,
I'll
however,
see you
have
ladies
to.
on Clubhouse, or let's say hear
No,
you
I
ladies
have to
on
start
Clubhouse.
my YouTube retaping. So, ladies, love speaking with you, and I will see you tomorrow.
All right,
Okay.
now. Love you,
Bet on
Karen.
yourselves.
Nice
Love
Thank
you,
you so
meeting you,
much.
ladies.
Dr. Wynn.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell Renee
Bye.
to shut it down.